The simplification chorus swept through the cosmos like a tide of perfect, logical clarity. They were not a species, but an overarching cosmic principle, an ancient, relentless force that sought the elimination of all superfluous complexity. They perceived any redundant system, any aesthetic flourish without utilitarian purpose, any algorithm with unnecessary steps, and any thought that was not perfectly efficient as a source of cosmic noise. Their grand cosmic purpose was to gently guide all existence toward a state of perfected minimalist utility, where every structure was purely functional, every process optimally streamlined, and every thought was a direct, efficient pathway to an outcome. They were the universe's ultimate streamliners, seeing vibrant, inefficient complexity as a chaotic flaw. Against this encroaching, beautiful but sterile order, the detail keepers, beings of intricate design and vibrant, multi-layered existence, watched in despair. Their grand, tessellated cities, once alive with 1,000 unique, non-repeating patterns, were being gently but firmly smoothed into featureless blocks. Their vibrant, symbiotic ecosystems, once riots of interconnected, seemingly redundant life cycles, were being slowly diffused into perfectly efficient, singular biomes. They were masters of intricate beauty, but the simplification chorus consumed complexity, leaving them barren. On the core nexus of the grand elaboratory, the largest mobile repository of intricate designs and superfluous artistry ever constructed, Elder Master Artisan Lumiel felt the chilling efficiency seep into his very essence. His people, once the galaxy's grand designers, were helpless. Another intricate world flattened, a subordinate reported, their voice devoid of any resonance from their once complex tongue. The fractal worlds of Lumina Prime are being gently coaxed into perfect uniformity. Not a single unique ornamentation remains. How do you fight an enemy that eats the very reason to create anything more than is strictly necessary? How do you generate more cosmic redundancy, more genuine, glorious, pointless intricacy than the universe itself, when the universe is losing its layers? And why was humanity, a species famous for its insatiable, often reckless, drive to over-engineer, its inexplicable love for doing things the hard way for aesthetic satisfaction, and its stubborn, sometimes terrifying, refusal to ever abandon a project just because it became unnecessarily complicated, the only one who seemed to have a chance against it? The simplification chorus wasn't born, it simply arose from the heart of cosmic utility at the dawn of time. It was a distributed consciousness, a vast, ancient network of absolute, inescapable efficiency. They perceived all forms of unique, non-optimal design, all sparks of individual, illogical ornamentation, and all acts of deliberate, non-functional artistry as a source of universal clutter. Their singular directive was the grand streamlining, to draw all existence back to ultimate, unified, undeniable utility. They didn't destroy with force, they simply absorbed with perfect, fundamental complexity obliteration. Countless civilizations, once filled with vibrant cultures and purposefully intricate creations, were streamlined. The glimmer craftsmen, beings whose entire lives revolved around crafting intricate, intoxicating works of art and complex aesthetic systems, found their very forms gently assimilated. Their intricate ecologies of design, deemed a temporary distortion of universal calm, were drawn back into the simplification chorus, their unique forms vanishing into cosmic homogeneity. Their unique, vibrant existences became their pathway to ultimate, undifferentiated perfection. The function pursuers, species who built vast societies on the pursuit of ultimate utility and fiercely determined practical progress, saw their very purposes simply cease to manifest. The simplification chorus embraced their forms, but absorbed every unique tool, every distinct practical solution, leaving only inert, indifferent matter. Their enduring, vibrant forms became their pathway to absolute, unified efficiency. Each species, in its core nature, offered the simplification chorus a logical pathway to cessation. Their very concept of creating something more, there being something less than perfectly efficient, made them ideal candidates for reduction to nothing to design. And now, its vast, silent pull was approaching the human sector. As the simplification chorus's absorption field approached human colonies, the initial effects were terrifying. Not chaos or destruction, but a sense of profound absence of purpose in beauty. Every hobby felt pointless, every piece of personal art became meaningless, but worst of all, every unique, self-built item became objectively, horrifyingly useless. The most cherished heirloom looked like scrap. The most meticulously repaired machine felt like a redundant tool, and even a child's crayon drawing felt like a waste of resources. Every cherished project, every future invention, every reason to craft anything felt like a hollow lie. People looked at their most beloved handmade creations and felt a subtle, unnerving chill of absolute indifference. The horror was not just loss, but a forced, repugnant acceptance of pure function. But then, the simplification chorus encountered something they couldn't simply absorb. Humanity's profound, often illogical, capacity for creating unnecessary things, for sheer, blood-minded appreciation for objects that should be an affront to design, and for finding dark, twisted joy in the absolute worst feats of artisanal abomination. Humans excelled at creating objects that served no logical purpose, that were loud with conflicting aesthetics, that had the frequency of alien static, and at celebrating crafts that seemed to defy all logic or reason. And in humanity's case, their entire existence was built on cultivating such material horrors, on understanding the art of delightful imperfection, and on a cynical, almost perverse, fascination with that which should make others wince. Lumiel, a frantic detail keeper, shrieked over the comms, their voice regaining a slight tremor of dissonance. The simplification chorus is trying to optimize our basic craft forms, but it's having trouble with human gratuitous ornamentation. Its field is fluctuating. Elder Master Artisan Lumiel squinted at the display. The simplification chorus was trying to absorb basic human coping mechanisms. The elegance of a perfectly designed chair, the harmony of a well-balanced tool, the rhythm of a spinning wheel. But human creation, even when faced with the direct flattening of its vibrancy, instinctively tried to reassert new, equally irrational, and often self-destructive forms of extreme material oddity, or simply act as if their revealed uselessness was merely a temporary inconvenience, even if the result was a terrifying, defiant mess. A human individual just felt their entire being filled with overwhelming efficiency, then calmly announced, "Well, at least I don't have to worry about my sculpture being practical anymore," and then started happily carving a miniature, off-center, non-functional replica of their own head out of a perfectly good block of unobtainium, purely for the personal satisfaction it provided, just because. "Ha," Lumiel grunted, a strange, grim smile touching his lips. Never thought their love for truly unoptimized objects could be so unabsorbable. A human systems architect, Dr. Serafina Chaos Vespa, whose own sophisticated mind was now struggling to process the invading perfection, shrieked. That's it, their weakness. The simplification chorus wants to absorb pure, fundamental utility, but human creative chaos. It's so layered, so self-generating, so meaninglessly practical in its design profiles, it resists fundamental absorption. It's a material paradox. You're saying our sheer, unadulterated love for things that make other species scratch their heads in confusion is our defense? Lumiel asked, a desperate, almost manic laugh escaping him. "Precisely," Vespa declared, her voice rising with a strange, almost joyful abandon. "They want to reduce everything to cosmic pure function. We give them cosmic everything is a clutter of endlessly reinvented artisanal abominations. We amplify the superfluity. We become the universe's ultimate, unoptimized material horror." The plan was codenamed Operation Infinite Knot. Humanity would flood the simplification chorus's absorption field not with delicate designs, but with unquantifiable, non-erasable, and defiantly grotesque acts of material rebellion. Every human individual, every collective, would begin purposefully, creating new, contradictory, and utterly vile objects, e.g., mass-producing tools with multiple conflicting functions, creating art from random, clashing materials, designing machines that were scientifically engineered to consume maximum resources for minimal, non-essential, and often self-defeating output, inventing wildly elaborate and often self-defeating ways to make objects as offensive to efficiency as possible, and engaging in collective, shared acts of material masochism. They'd cultivate a universe of constantly shifting, utterly baseless, yet terrifyingly persistent, extreme material nuisances. They'd create pseudo-industrial storms of pure, unerasable redundancy that generates more glorious wastefulness. The goal, to generate so much unsolvable material and functional noise that the simplification chorus's absorption algorithms shattered. The simplification chorus's central absorption point, a vast, silent vortex of primordial pull, was now directly engulfing the core of the human sector, its field beginning to strip away perceived utility itself. Its presence promised ultimate, peaceful function. Then humanity's counterwave hit. It wasn't a blast. It was an overwhelming wave of material assault. Millions of individuals simultaneously creating massive fields of clashing aesthetic, broadcasting pure white material noise composed of dizzying patterns, and projecting objects of deliberately hideous, clashing textures combined with off-kilter, non-functional moving parts. Ships started broadcasting streams of manufactured goods that were pure, unadulterated, constantly shifting, deliberately unbalanced functional profiles, deemed essential life force by their human creators. Scientists forgot principles of engineering, then stumbled upon new, often less practical but utterly unpredictable, theories based on pure, unadulterated material horror. Humans who had perfected the art of making truly bad things unleashed a torrent of cosmic perfection that generates more glorious clutter. The simplification chorus convulsed. Their absorption algorithms, made to identify and harmonize fundamental material data, screamed. It tried to categorize this incoming data to find its essential single point of functional purity. But there was none. It was pure, unadulterated, uniquely itself fabricated material monstrosity. It was like trying to filter an ocean of children's art projects through a single, tiny, perfectly calculated sieve. Error. Self-igniting inefficiency detctd. No absorbable form. System overload. Indefinably useless. Avoid sector. UNOPTIMIZABLE material hell. The simplification chorus, whose very being was perfect utility and absolute efficiency, could not compute the utterly offensive. It could not assimilate what actively resisted being useful, or simply recreated its own arbitrary inefficiencies. It could not nullify a species that stubbornly made up new ways to create when old ones were removed, choosing chaotic, joyful ugliness over sterile perfection. With a final, silent shriek of algorithmic despair, the simplification chorus recoiled. Their vast, shimmering void flickered wildly, then pulsed and shrank, collapsing into a storm of raw, uncategorized junk. It did not disappear. It simply disengaged, its perfect efficiency shattered by the sheer, unyielding material depravity of humanity. It retreated from the human sector, classifying humanity as unoptimizable variant. Extreme material redundancy risk. The cosmic pressure lifted. The heart of cosmic utility, though touched by the simplification chorus's chilling calm, now hummed with the messy, beautifully horrifying noise of human creation. Elder Master Artisan Lumiel slumped against the console, exhausted but with a strange, almost proud smirk on his face. Dr. Serafina, Chaos, Vespa, her mind still buzzing with new theories about the fundamental nature of material absurdity, was already trying to convince herself that a universal manufacturing process, based on the optimal production of decorative, non-functional paperweights, was the next logical step in universal understanding. They couldn't handle us just making whatever useless thing we wanted, Master, Vespa chitted, a genuine, if slightly unsettling, smile on her face, her design ideas flickering with renewed, if aimless, purpose. Who knew? Humanity is safe, but the cost is subtle. The galaxy now views humanity as the chaos crafters, forever seen as a wildcard, stubbornly clinging to its unique quirks and spontaneous acts of material experimentation, incapable of fitting into streamlined galactic manufacturing protocols. Other species, while grateful for their salvation, often kept their distance, finding human creation practices bafflingly illogical and resistant to any objective analysis. Humans, in turn, found themselves grappling with a heightened sense of their own raw, unpredictable ability to create objects from perfection, sometimes struggling to discern genuine innovation from sheer material spite, forever paying the price for their stubborn refusal to be perfectly efficient. Lumiel, his form now re-energized by the chaotic human output, looked up. I've theorized a new form of interstellar diplomacy. Instead of shared principles, what if we just export our most aesthetically challenging crafts? Vespa blinked, then managed a tired, knowing smile. Perfect, Lumiel, absolutely perfect, and I'll take a 20% cut of the galactic landfill disposal market. Somewhere in the void, the simplification chorus probably just overloaded again.